Hello, and welcome back to Roll Play, where we roll dice and play games. Today we have a full house. The full Monty is here. We have a full hand, other poker terms, a high straight, pocket aces. No, that one doesn't work. Okay, you've joined us for Threads of Chaos, our midweek campaign. This is session 12, and what we're going to do is we're just going to dive straight into it. So, as the party have been aboard the Poison Ivy, they've got to know some of the crew, some of the people on board the ship, as well as each other. Some time just spent going along the coast, but this last day, where dreams have begun to fill their heads, a siren seemingly taking control and keeping them loosely in this dreamscape. The seas had turned, and a battle had commenced. Creatures from the depths, undead coral creatures, and a large kraken of some kind had attacked the ship, but the party were able to fend off these attackers and push them back using the mortar strike to release this daylight into the air, which had caused all of these creatures to then find themselves back into the depths and the ship no longer under attack. That's where we left off. However, we're going to focus a few hours ago where Helen had a dream. Helen, you fell asleep in your cabin aboard the Poison Ivy. As you dreamed, it was hard to fall asleep at the beginning. It was a heavy, rocking storm. But through this very frustrating time of tossing and turning, you eventually found rest. In this rest, you had seen complete black. No sounds, no visual. It was just complete black. But then, in the dream itself, you could hear what sounded like whispers passing your ear. And they run through your mind. The whispers themselves hold no actual sound or any words that you could understand. It was just noise, babble, something talking, perhaps in a language you do not understand, or in a way that just doesn't comprehend. The whispers kept growing and growing. And in this pitch black that you found yourself in, the whispers did not feel evil. They did not feel hurtful. And at some points, you could feel them even plucking at your very heart, like fingers twiddling a ball of lint just between them. As you're in this state of consciousness and unconsciousness, a state between the two planes, that twiddling continued, and the whispers almost grew silent, and then a voice cut through them. What a curious fate that has befallen you, young one. A heart filled with rage, intoxicating with how prevalent it is. But you learn to control it with a guided mind, sharp and focused. That is a power not many can control. You are certainly unique. The fingers almost let go of your heart. And now you begin to see in the distance faint trails of light, like a golden light. You can respond if you wish.
And you said this like thing isn't necessarily speaking like a language as such, right?
The whispers didn't, but now you understand it. Now this is a language you comprehend.
Should kind of turn a little bit, not even in like a particular direction, just towards wherever. And all emotions are tools. You can harness them to do many, many great things with. It's foolish to not try. And we just kind of look around, kind of looking at the space.
You speak out, and your words almost echo in this void. They just bounce out and quickly fade. Tools? Is that what you seek? Tools for your own creation?
She just kind of listens and goes, if you're able to do such magics, I'm sure you have some idea of what I want, so yes.
Those lines of light grow larger, closer. They rise up from the void, disappearing altogether, and they trail down, doing the same. There's several of these, about 5 or so. They grow closer and closer, and their thickness is probably about the same size as you. As you look at these strings of golden light, you see almost what looks like strings on a lute, strings on a harp, strings of an instrument. And you see a hand, a large, massive hand, begin to go across them and plucks each one, creating a tune. Each pluck of the string in this single run of a strum, you just hear voices from each one. Some in agony, some in relief, some in happiness, some in sorrow, and others in pure anger, just strum straight across. The hand itself is large. The fingers, if compared to the hand itself, are much longer, with nails that come out to a sharpened point. The nails are what strum these strings. And the hand disappears into the void after finishing. You watch as those strings continue to warble back and forth. What is your name, young lady?
Has Helen ever seen something with hands like this?
You can roll a history or religion check.
She's met quite a few people over the years. My history's better, so let's do that.
No worries, I just needed to reset
worries,
names,
all good.
so yeah, it should be back.
All good. 12. You think back, and many different creatures could have these hands. None stand out to you with the 12. And you get the sense that this space that you're in, this dreamscape, whatever this is, sizes can change. and perhaps this isn't their true form. More for dramatics, perhaps. But as the strum goes, the question is still given to you. What do you respond with?
Would turn towards where the hand kind of reached away. Helen Anavir. The Feywild. Just kind of look with do her best, like kind of intense stare and kind of straighten her posture fully.
Mm-hmm.
My father was Gallus.
Your voice just bounces off into the void, and it takes a while where you think that maybe they didn't hear you, maybe your voice didn't travel, but then the response comes through. Ah, a fellow Feywild resident. It has been some time since I've been there. How is everything? How is Queen Hollow?
Helen
Why her,
would just,
Max? Why her?
would just kind of straighten up and goes, as usual, doesn't particularly care for maintaining anything but her immediate purview. If something doesn't interest her, it's no longer of her concern. She'd kind of say it with a bit of a sneer towards the last bit of that. It's no concern with how things work out as long as all ends well for her. Just kind of annoyed.
So, the tools that you seek, are they pointed in someone's direction?
Helen would kind of just sigh and goes, not hers, but someone's, yes.
Fascinating. Revenge?
I simply want back what my father built.
Legacy. Legacy is an important thing. We all hold a history, no more than books. By your side, you carry a very special book, one of my design, my journal. But you've only looked upon one of its pages. Why stop there?
And she'd kind of shrug. I've simply been too busy. The Frog is book. I intend for him to publish it in many, many places, and in the meantime, I want to give him something to write about. Haven't had the time. Just kind of shrug.
Haven't had the time, or lack a crucial part of it? A key, perhaps?
Would make it easier. The last time it took a little bit to get the thing open.
Is a key something that you wish to have?
Should kind of think about it and just kind of nod.
The key is out there. I no longer have it in my possession. The book and the key were taken away a long time ago. But what I can do, and you watch as the hand once again re-emerges from where it last left off and comes back to the strings of light. I can make sure that your path, and it reaches past through the lines of light, touches your chest. And as the nail touches your heart, you watch it pull away, and that same golden light, a thread, if you will, begins to almost expand from your chest and hovers in her finger. I can put you on the right path. Do you wish for this to happen?
Helena just kind of looks towards the hand and goes, I have my own motivations, but I'm not fool enough to think that this would be for my own gain, at least not entirely. I'm guessing you cannot do such a thing yourself. Both pieces need to be together for some plan larger than myself.
Oh dear. We are from the same place, and you would share my sentiment. I have no care for the law and order that's been established. I want to see chaos. Full, unadulterated chaos. Siphoned through you. I have nothing to gain. I just find joy.
She'd kind of turn, and then she'd just like nod towards the large hand if it's still hovering there.
The thread which holds in its finger, you watch it join and create a sixth line of light, and you watch as all six begin to entwine together and wrap around and create almost this twisted looking oak of a tree rising up and into the darkness.
6, you said?
Yes.
Now,
Time will come, and you will soon find the key in your path. Patience is a virtue, but also, none of us are getting any younger, are we? Let's hope it arises quicker than anticipated.
she'd just kind of nod.
In the meantime, I think we have a little onlooker. And you watch as the hand gestures over to the right-hand side to where you can see a mass of grey and white light, which looks like it's been submerged in the water. The body itself, female, silhouetting. You see hair completely straight and flat, hovering forward. You see its gaze stare towards the hand with this ire The black hair, which covers both features, begins to push apart, and you see one half is a pale humanoid reflection, the other this hollowed out, almost crystallized gemstone. But it isn't stone, but it's coral. Bright green, pinks, and reds caved into the face, carving away a semi-portion of it. But deep inside, an eye stares forward, and it looks at you, and it looks at the hand. And then you find yourself waking up. Combat ensues. You now all find yourselves on the deck of the ship. The light, although it is late in the evening, ball of fiery sunlight still continues to hover in the sky, burning away most of the mist and any clouds that were once above. Now you can see the expanse around you. The seas are now flat, calm. The sails, although open, damaged, the wind catches a few, and Admiral Whimsy rushes back to the helm to begin navigating forward as you continue your trajectory to Bellavia.
Not so quick. I want to talk to him. What the fuck did you mean?
Mm-hmm.
I can't sleep.
You rush over, follow him as he's kind of like getting back to his station.
Wait, sir, sorry, what did you mean with that means war? Like, that seems a bit dramatic. Was this some sort of coordinated thing? What is happening? Why does this mean war?
Well, we have evidence. We are all onlookers of what happened today. No one has ever seen this hag attack a ship. It has only been rumors. Ships go missing, and we suspect it's them. Or it is known to be as pirates. And this time, she was there, and he gestures up to the sky. I saw her.
Right, but like hunting down one singular person's not really war. So why are we talking about war? Who? With who?
She has affiliations with the Tritons. The Tritons have had conflicts above water, claiming that the land of Ishvahi is theirs. This is just evident that they are escalating certain attacks, and we must engage. We cannot let ourselves continue to lose and be surprised. This is one attack. There may be more. For all intents and purposes,
okay, when you put it like that.
This is war.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
None of us got a good look at like this hag, right?
Axon did.
Axon did, yeah. And for Axon, you heard the later half of the conversation that Helen had had.
About the key, you mean that we stumble upon it sooner or later. Did I hear also the part with Hollow? I mean Queen Hollow?
I'd say no, you missed that part.
Alright.
You only really heard when the hag appeared in the dream.
Okay.
But Axon was the only one to really notice much in the sky. So he saw the hag.
To be fair, I think I did too.
I think
Yeah.
it was actually Ulrin, not me. I rolled.
Oh, maybe. Then Ulrin.
Huh.
Someone did.
Yeah, it was Ulrin.
I rolled really low. I only saw like shapes. I know that much. Okay, war, sure. It's
Did
gonna
I
go back
also,
to the group.
or did I overhear the conversation between Carl and Whimsy, or Captain Whimsy?
Oh yeah, it was not quiet.
Okay, so I will just like slowly also come up to the like place where they talking, like, and
Helen
just
as well.
look at the captain and say, well, just one occurrence is, it doesn't mean that they were responsible for yeah, all those disappearances happened in the past. And you said it yourself, they or she wasn't seen like previously.
You are right. But it does not change that they fought us today.
Yeah, that's definitely yeah, makes you know,
I lost
the next incident.
many good men here on this ship. Fallen, taken down to the depths of the ocean. This is not a tolerable act. This is to be taken seriously.
Oh yeah, by all means, and don't get me wrong. I'm not like talking to you and trying to persuade you to not taking it seriously, but to take it so serious and say that it's a war. I think you are going a little bit too far.
He takes a moment. You can roll an insight check if you want.
Oh yeah, I will gladly take this chance.
In the kind of
20.
pause,
Nice.
Helen would kind of step up again and goes, "You said this has been happening for quite some time. How long? Months? Years? When were the first sightings of such a thing? This hag? Or at least things attributed?"
As you ask the question, the insight check you roll, Axon, you can see that this man is very old. He's not seen much of a fight in recent years. He's been stationed in one place in particular. This is the first act of calling that he's really had since the old days. You're getting a sense that perhaps he is being slightly overzealous in his declarations. He has no right to speak in the way he is. But you can see he's riled up from the situation and is thus acting with less of a mind and more of an impulse.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and that's why I just try to persuade him, or at least like to calm him a bit down.
As well, with a 20, you notice that trying to quell certain anger isn't really helping. You see he's just kind of like becoming more engrossed in this idea the more it's brought up.
All right, then yeah, I will just like give place to Helen to ask her questions and just cross my arms on the chest and like with the like half smile I'll look at him and not like, you know, it's not like because I'm so happy about what happened or transpired, but just yeah, that I don't want to like push like further.
Yeah, sure. Helen, you asked the question. Well, this creature, this hag, has been around for a long time. Thousands of years. There are tales of her. Taking sailors down to the depths, stealing them from homes, taking them from trade, and using them as puppets for her own use. Some even as display to place in her coral reef. She is not a creature to be taken lightly, although her allegiances have been quite strange. She is a hag, a creature of malevolence but yet she finds herself standing next to. He kind of groans, and a general of old, a sailor who has made themselves known to the world, a creature of undeath, one who has tied themselves to the depths.
Should kind of look at him with like a questioning look, like waiting for a name.
He said it's called an Admiral Thorn. I'd never heard of him, but apparently he's a very big thing.
He was a sailor thousands of years ago, but was lost during war with pirates out at sea.
Has
But-
Helen ever heard, like, now that she has kind of names and more details, any like stories about either this like admiral or this hag kind of in connection to this?
Sure, you can roll a history check.
Especially now she kind of has a bit of a description of her.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, nothing really comes to mind. As he tells you fables and stories, there are many stories of creatures below. The most common one is sailors being ensorcelled and taken away, or the ships going down in a mist. But nothing pokes out at you, on this occasion at least.
Alright.
But his allegiance, her allegiance, is filled with death. Their thralls are vampiric. They ensorcel and make deals like devils or demons to have underlings to fight and serve for them. No respect, no guile, only subjugation. Fear is a tactic that they use. And they've kept to the shadows for so long. But now they are becoming more and more prominent. The last 20 years, they have been showing up more and more, fighting alongside these Tritons, showing a force that is unwielding. But this is the first time that I have heard of that there is combatant at sea. Everything has been on land. This is them trying to pull us down, as the tales say.
She'd kind of try to lighten the mood, go, well, if there was a ship they were going to steal, I could just see why they'd want this one. Especially with
That's exactly what I said.
talented crew and, well, your friend downstairs. I'm sure the hag could at least feel such a presence. Their magics are wild. Maybe they're targeting specific targets then, now that they are hitting sea markers as well as land. If there was going to be a first strike, this is a ship that would cause a splash. Forgive the pun. Just kind of looking around at the damage on the ship. Does it look like they were trying to break it, or does it look like they were trying to preserve it and steal it?
You can roll a investigation check.
Yet they back away. Why they let us go?
9. What you could tell is there was a lot of damage to the ship itself, but it doesn't look like it was done intentionally. You're not sure what the ulterior motive was, but damage happened. You dealt damage to the ship as a crew just to fend them off. They also did, but that just happens with a scurry, with a fight. You're not sure if that was their main intention.
Axon, I think they left because we turned that thing on, and Kel's just pointing at the still very much active daylight cannon, whatever. And also, when Helen was saying that about like wanting to steal the ship, Cal just gave her a look, just this small little look, just like,
Yeah, but come on, like, let's be real. Do you think that it would just like fend off the whole army? And if they wanted to steal, I would be specifically targeting this device just to sabotage it, and then you would have nothing to defend, like, against them. So, you know, either there is poor planning on their side, or, you know, it was not their motive in the first place. I'm just throwing...
They might be done.
You hear the powder monkey, the imp, begin to step forward, Bumble, damaged but healed through the fight. You see him kind of look around. Well, you know, I'll have you know, it was a bit of a tricky scenario, yet the chemical compound that we used was one that has been enchanted by the divine. Clerics, priests, all that sort of shit. It doesn't really go down well with the undead. So it definitely helped.
I mean, like, without any, you know, I don't want to downplay any of your contribution. Just saying that this device itself is not probably divine infused.
Oh, no, not at all, no.
So, you see, any, like, enemy coming into, like, near vicinity of this device would probably mean for us a defeat in that battle, but luckily it didn't happen.
During all of this, Olrin, you see Cognar begin to approach you. He takes a knee and just kind of plonks himself down. He was knocked down in the last fight, surrounded, completely went down. You healed him back up, and he just sits there, covered in scars. And he just gives you a solid nod. Just
thank
back. You. Thank you for saving me.
Always. Do you require more healing?
Not for now. I'm okay. Thank you.
Oh, lucky then. I'm nearly out of magic.
I don't even know who to thank. Whether it's Moradin, but I'm gonna thank you instead.
Well, I get my magic from Moradin, so take it as a team effort.
But you made the choice. I don't know if I could do the same. I wasn't strong enough. But you clearly were. You are strong enough to stand by Moradin.
I pat him on the side. You were about to sacrifice yourself just to gain time. Let's not pretend you are a coward of any kind.
He smiles and acknowledges. I'll take that. He just continues to sit there and rest, as he is completely KO'd.
Yeah, sink down next to him and also take a breather.
Mm-hmm. Mayseely, what are you up to during all of this?
I don't actually know where the fuck I am.
You would have joined on the deck with the rest of them. But if you wish to go elsewhere now that the fight's over, that's up to you.
What time is it?
It's like 2 a.m., but you are tired, but the sun is out.
2 a.m. Wait, 2 a.m. The sun is out? The sun is out at 2 a.m.?
Because of the fireball in the air.
see.
The sun.
That's still wait, but no. But 2 a.m. is during the night. 2 p.m. is during the day.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
But you said it was 2 a.m., so it's in the middle of the night.
Yes.
But why do you say the sun is out? You fuck.
The sun is! There's a giant light beam in the middle of the
The
sky! There's
metaphorical
no
sun.
sun! Max is just an idiot!
I'm not an idiot. I'm being metaphorical.
Oh no, man. Oh,
And
I thought I
honestly-
was an idiot.
It depends on the time zone in which where we are right now. It could possibly be
Would
What?
I
quite
bother?
possible.
Maybe, you know, when you're...
Thought I was an idiot, and I switched PM and AM. But if it's in the middle of the night, she's gonna catch some C's, because
Okay.
I can see that I am hurt, and I'm
Yeah.
blaming whoever controlled me last session.
Ilya.
You cannot blame me because she was surrounded, to be fair, and I tried to keep her as much as I can, or
You
I
did.
could, alive.
There's a nice try.
Yeah. I know. You can blame Max actually to targeting.
Yeah,
your
fuck you,
character.
Max. Kidding.
Hey, look, I take it. I take these. Badge of honor. Big fuck you. Love it. All right, so Macelia heads down, goes to bed. ZZZZ. Through
Yeah,
a
same.
toss and tumbled room. Cal does the same, heads down, tries to complete their rest. Everyone else?
Is
Yeah.
the jelly bean okay?
Roll an investigation check.
Investigation. Investigation.
Helen would kind of
Has to be
sit down
helpful.
and quietly try to just spend a few hours probably just quietly trying to rack her brain for
Oh,
anything she might have heard of that had the resemblance of the thing that spoke to her.
Sure, yeah. Cal, you begin to look around and you cannot see the jelly bean in your room. You spend probably a
Uh-oh.
good 10 minutes rushing around, looking through, making sure that the door wasn't open and it rolled out. And you spend a good 10, 15, 20 minutes panicking. And then you realize, oh, no, it's still in the room. All of the stuff is just falling on top of it.
uh-oh. Is it safe? Did it break? That would be bad, I think.
You give it an examine, and you see that
Mhm.
it's in the same condition as you left it.
Okay, perfect. Then I'm just gonna wrap it again, put it back in its little nest. And then Kel's gonna fall asleep, dead tired.
Okay. Ulrin, Axon, what are you guys up to?
Yeah, not having the strength to make it to a proper bed, I will just sink down next to Cogna and
Hmm.
fall asleep there.
Sure. Two of you
He's just
just,
sleeping in the middle of the deck. Everyone has to walk around them.
yeah, especially with a hill giant just there. The two of you just kind of rest next to one of the masts, just kind of sat there for a while, just talking, and then silent, and then just this snoring, this loud, ever so present snoring on the top deck for everyone to enjoy. Okay, Axon,
I would
you're,
stay for
you're still awake.
yeah, I would stay for a bit with the captain, just look at him. And before I just head down, I just will. You would need us. Oh, you said you would need us to testify or about like what we saw today, right? Or tonight.
He gives a stern nod. It would be appreciated. Yes.
I don't expect that we will support your effort in claiming the war.
Just say what you saw. That is all that is needed. The truth speaks volumes.
If it's the whole truth, and I doubt that we saw it today.
What are your suspicions?
My suspicions, I would, they would stay with me if you don't mind, because it's merely suspicions, right? It's nothing worth mentioning.
He gives you a stern look. And I can respect that. If you think there is a danger on board my ship, I would prefer I know. If you think that this was not cause because of sinking the ship, taking the ship, simply killing, then if you think there was ulterior motive, I would prefer to know. But you can tell me in the morning if you wish.
Just tell you that there might be a deeper meaning behind all of this. Even I myself might not be able to comprehend or to understand why it happened. That's why I just want you to, or want to let you know that it might be not so easy to just, claim it on the mere ulterior motive about like taking the ship or sinking the ship. But again, yeah, it's like late, and I hate being disturbed during my sleep. So I probably it would be wiser to return to this topic tomorrow, or I mean today, or somewhere later.
He has a slight chuckle to himself. Get some rest. You all did very well today.
You do. Without you, we would probably be already on the bottom of the sea. But I'm glad you're having our back, I would say, and your friends. And I point in the air.
Mm-hmm. Still flying above Skyhook, just hovering away.
Please do share our gratitude towards him as well. If I don't think he would enjoy talking to. I don't know, probably me specifically, but
They know.
Good. So then I see you in a few hours, I hope.
Rest well. And he just grabs the helm once again and continues to look forward. You head down, go to rest. Helen, you're still up, pondering, thinking, and you can feel in the combat, in waking up, you had grabbed some of your personal belongings because the rooms were being attacked. You can feel as you're thinking of that entity, the book present, just there, alongside the many other knickknacks that you've collected so far. But yeah, it's there. You ponder and think to who that could have been, but for today, you are so exhausted that nothing really comes to mind. Perhaps with some sleep, reflection, or time, it might come prevalent, but as of now, unfortunately, nothing really comes to mind.
While it's still kind of front of her mind, as she's like kind of doing this, try to do a sketch of like at least a kind of proportions of the hands, and then also of the like split face of the sea hag with the kind of coral and then the just kind of pallor.
Sure. You sketch them out, write them in your book. And as you are, you do feel that kind of presence to your right as the statue begins to move when you don't look at it. And then you turn back and it's no longer moving. Just a very odd presence every time.
At this point, it's probably like comforting. Giggle every time she sees it move. It's out of the corner of her eye.
Okay. With that, you continue to sketch until you doze off eventually. All resting
Before we rest, I just want to quickly check if there are any leftovers of the tentacles in my room, and then just go to sleep.
Yes, there is. And I'm sure Axon and Olren, I believe the two of you would have procured some of this.
Yeah, but at least like parts or pieces, because I would need a closer examination of those.
Mm-hmm.
You can write down in your inventory tentacles.
I will, actually. I will.
This is great. This is great.
Roll an Arcana check as you examine the tentacle.
Okay, are we going this far? Yeah, sure. Can I give myself guidance before examining it?
Sure.
Oh shit, yeah, that's 10.
I did not help.
Okay. The two of you begin to examine these tentacles that you've procured. Axon, you just kind of are caught in the moment of examining the biology. It's quite a large chunk of meat. Olren begins to think up some different dishes that you can make with it. But in doing so, because your mind works in how properties can be taken from one thing to the next, these tentacles have an aura of conjuration magic in them. Almost like the creature itself has some conjuration properties, allowing it to displace in a moment. If you want to as well, just roll a history check to see if you know what the creature is.
Oh. As the Kraken that was once polymorphed during a crusade.
Shut up. 18. This isn't a common creature, and this one doesn't seem to at least be the same as what you've read, but you've heard tales of sailors, people who've traveled far and wide to come and teach at Moradin's temple especially, but a creature that exists in the world, there are krakens, but there are also shifting krakens who do not possess limbs themselves, but rather project them in different areas so that they can feast whilst their arms grip and hold down the creature that they are trying to consume. The limbs of this shifting kraken are corporeal. They aren't connected to the body, and as well, the creature itself can teleport to different areas. It doesn't necessarily swim. It more so finds itself displacing and moving around through the seas via that method. And it can also fly. So that's probably what you saw in the sky next to the hag. But you kind of learned that as a little tidbit. But as well, a lot of recipes you can come up here. So
Also, I share my findings with Axon.
sure.
Oh, that's truly curious creature. It is. Yeah. Did you know about their biology that they can do that? And I just share some details, bits and parts. And actually, you can prepare delicious dishes out of them.
Yes.
This is going to turn into like a Monster Hunter game where you can just make food out of anything.
I disapprove.
Madness, absolute.
I'm so glad we've left the gnoll corpses in the destroyed temple.
No,
I'm so glad.
I'm gonna make sashimi out of this, but you have to roll a d4. If you chew down on it, it may just displace out of your mouth.
It moves out of your stomach.
And landed somewhere else's mouth, right?
Someone else's stomach. That's
no.
nasty shit, that.
That is no.
Oh no!
You're just chewing down on a half-chewed food, and then it just bloop.
No, okay. Moving on.
I'm gonna
my
crack
God.
her so
We
nice.
Second-hand eating Oren's food.
Nasty.
You did not have consent of putting that in my mouth. Terrible.
You know, funny
Thank
thing.
you for the nightmare,
never...
man.
Yeah, we don't need it. It just happens.
Never ever, please.
I do not want to see
we have a new no-go for the list. Max added.
the hentai possibilities in this is unfathomable. I don't
Oh
even
my
want to
God.
think about it. Nasty shit.
Thanks! Shush!
Okay, so
Please
you
don't.
all
No.
you all rest. You all have a long rest, so you can regain all of your abilities, heal your hit points, and the exhaustion you had, which I don't think anyone did, you regain 1 level off. So now you are all rested. You've woken up in the hull of the ship, and you have about a couple of hours before you reach Bellavere. As you head up to the top deck to see the kind of going on and how the timing is going, the first mate will just gesture to you, Regs, the hobgoblin. He'll just say, we should be there within the next couple of hours. So you can either rest tight or help out where you can, but we'll be there shortly. Do you have a place of stay whilst you're in Bellavere?
It probably comes with a job.
Okay.
Probably.
I think
Well,
we'll
maybe
find
not.
something.
We don't know.
Usually a job where you have to travel to does provide lodging, so you'd hope so.
Yeah, right?
Well, if
And
you
if
have
not,
accommodation sorted,
We'll be
then
fine.
you can sort yourselves out. There's plenty of inns and taverns around. None of them are massive or lavish. They're all fairly similar to one another. Bellavere is everyone mucks in and has pretty much the same. Even the notable leaders and priests of the different temples that lay there. All the same footing, which is good. But
I
it
mean, it
also
sounds a bit
means
boring, but
it can be quite
Yeah.
boring. I won't lie. It does mean that most people don't tend to strive, not much ambition, but those who do contribute greatly. Tradition is a strong suit for the dynasty as a whole.
Do you know any places worth visiting?
Well, the docks are pretty much the main attraction. They expand to the entire part of the forward settlement of the city. And there is the slums, which you can visit, but you don't have much need to be there. Cheap lodging if you're looking for it. But are you people of faith?
Yeah, we have some in our group.
I myself happen to be a cleric of Moradin.
He nods. They do not have prayer to Moradin, yet there is 4 religions present in Bellavere. One dedicated to Ashtar, that is the most prominent within the region, only within the last few years. Second to that, you have 2 gods that are competing for the seas. Tythel, god of father of the tides and god of the seas. And you also have Melora, goddess of the wilderness. There is also a god which is prayed there, yet they aren't necessarily a god, more so a threat, a state of being, Cord, known as the god of strength and storms. They are also referred to as the end of days, to
what
split
a
the world
lovely
in
name.
half with a bolt of lightning. I know, very enjoyable. That is why it's not as preached.
Just like tell you that it's quite interesting choice of the gods to pray to.
Yeah.
I believe it was something that sailors would pray for the day that the tides take over the land. But this was many thousands of years ago. Cord would do that in their behest. Yet he himself is not a prominent figure, seen only in the Alastern Peaks temple, a statue dedicated with knights that look up to him in adoration, knights of the apocalypse.
Quite an interesting statue, I would tell you. I wonder if
Just-
anyone visited him or it.
He just kind of drifts off. Other things to do in the city, there aren't many. It's a place for families and residents. There is no entertainment sections or there is much trade. It is a port city, one of the biggest, second to Alakshir. So you have a lot of interesting procurements if you're looking to purchase or sell. But many of them thrifters, taking advantage of people's eye. So I would stay wary of what you purchase there. A lot of them can be swindlers.
We'll be very suspicious of everybody. Got it.
No need to be over suspicious. That can bring its own suspicion on you, and you don't want that. A middle ground.
I was a middle. Right.
Are there any laws which we or should be aware of? Like any special laws for Bellevue?
Respecting the ground that you walk upon is the main one that everyone follows. Do not try to bargain either. It seems that they have a distaste for disrespecting their evaluation of an item. You can certainly try it. Foreigners will be seen lightly and not be spoken to, but I would try to avoid it. They cost fairly. Most of their prices are as you'd expect them. But to try and barter, that is seen as a slap in the face.
But didn't you say they would try to swindle you?
Yes, pickpocket, steal, take advantage of your situation. I can tell straight away that they will come for you. There's no doubt about it.
Any like means to avoid them, or?
Well, to hide many of your valuables. Hide what you carry. Not show off the many magical wares that you have, as they are seen as a luxury, as gold dust, more valuable than gemstones.
Side-eye at Helen and look at myself. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for advice.
You might have a harder time, but kidnapping is not a commonality there.
Kidnapping?
Kidnapping.
It's happened
Looks
once or
pointedly
twice.
at Cal.
A cow napping?
Hey! I'm not a kid. Don't look at me. I'm just... I guess my parents would pay ransom for me, I think.
Maybe don't tell people that.
Got it.
But apart from that, just... You said you have work there, so I wouldn't think about too much of partaking in the surroundings. If you have a job to complete, it would most likely be out of the city, because I can't imagine many things to be done inside it.
But the curious thing is that we actually do not know where our work giver is.
No, we do. He mentioned the inn, didn't he?
Yeah, the
Let me
inn
check.
one. Oh. Like, do you know where the inn is?
No, but we can find an inn.
What inn are you looking for?
The Broken Spoke Inn.
Yes, not a lavish one. A bit. I did mention that there were quite a few average inns there. That is probably one of the lower on the list, located just on the outskirts of the port. Not a bit rowdy, let's say.
Would you say there's more pickpockets there or more kidnappers?
More fighting.
Fighting? Oh, we can do with fighting.
Don't be surprised if someone starts trying to goad you into hitting them. It seems to be something that they'd like to do there. I've got into a couple of ruckuses myself.
Cal, I will let you know that we will try our best to avoid the fighting, okay? I don't want to
Oh.
like do the first thing arriving in your town to like get into some drunken fighting in the inn.
But drunken fights can be really funny. Especially if you like spend the day after drinking with the person you were previously fighting. Like that's just a really fun dynamic. You can like exchange stories of previous bar fights you had, and it can be really entertaining. You should try it, honestly.
You see how like a bit of like, you know, not disgust, but you know, some like disapproval like forming on the accent face when Carl just going on about it. And let us just disagree on that matter and leave it at that.
Okay.
Let's not pick fights just yet, especially if we're new and guests in the city we're going to. On that note, are there any craftsmen that I should know of?
He begins to kind of think about, well, there's quite a few different trades, so I imagine there will be some tinkerers and especially carpenters for ships. As he's talking, you see Tuco begin to interject. I would just like to say, there are quite a few people gathering in the main square, located in the heart of the city. There is a bit of I don't know what you'd call it, but convention of sorts. Many historians, many artificers, creators. There are many people going there, and if you're looking for people who know their stuff, that is the place to go. I'm going.
Oh, right.
Well, thank you.
You're
But,
leaving us,
I'd
aren't
like to
you?
pick up-
I would like to join you
It's
too,
It's pretty late
actually.
as soon as you reach the city. Damn.
Well,
Oh.
I mean, I would like to join Tuco, and if you will let me, because I'm kind of curious and want to talk to the historian as well. Historians.
Yeah, no, of course, but still. Once he's reached his goal, and once we reached our goal. Damn,
And
I
don't
hadn't thought
forget,
about
Tuco,
that.
you promised me to introduce me to some, like, guys who knows about, you know, the Feywild.
He nods. Yeah, I'm sure there will be plenty of people to know stuff. The two people that I remember that were quite prominent is Griram Mesk. He is a tinkerer, artificer, does a lot of potions, that sort of thing. But also, someone who has visited the Feywild quite a lot is Zaya Day. They are a wizard that delve into the momentum and time. They themselves, you see them one day, and they might be this small little baby, but then the next day they might be really old and look like they're going to die. So they have a long history and knowledge of different places that they visited. So perhaps that could be someone of interest to Axon, but they are one of the. You will have to buy a ticket to get something signed, and you can get your art taken with them. So there may be a bit of a queue.
Do you have any, you know, fast forward lanes?
Well, perhaps. I'm not sure. Perhaps one of my friends could get in touch. Njoreg is quite well known in the convention side of things. Big Collector has gone with passes here and there to different ones. Perhaps he can get you in, get you to talk with Zaya. I don't know.
Helen's eyes would kind of like be widening. I'd love to meet this fellow. Sounds very interesting.
Is there a
Can get you
limit? Is there a limit on number of people who can get in? Or
No, easy peasy.
and how much will it cost?
don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, sure. Then let's try let's try to contact your friend first. Yeah, because I have no or I do not want to wait long.
Okay. Well, once we get there, I was planning to meet them tomorrow. Well, let's see. It's been 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, tomorrow. To talk with them and to kind of plan things out. Plan out if we want to go shopping first, or if we're going to the convention straight away, see all the people, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, perfect. That sounds like a plan. Let's do it tomorrow then.
Okay.
Max, remind me, is dusk that when the evening or morning?
Dusk is evening.
Oh, okay. Ooh, so we're going to meet the person today. That's. Cal is visibly excited.
If we will find him, you know.
We just have to find an inn.
You think it will be so easy just to, you know, find the inn and then it will happen just like magic?
I mean, considering the guy ordered us here and was super vague, but also weirdly specific on where to meet him. Yeah. Yeah.
I like your optimism, Cal. That's what I just wanted to say.
I do too. It's one of my best qualities.
It truly is.
Slap him on this, tap him on the shoulders.
Okay.
So as soon as that conversation kind of dwindles, Cal would gesture for Helen, like, can we talk just real quick?
Yeah, Helen would wander over and goes, everything alright?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you would like to have a small private chat, maybe away from the others.
She just kind of nod and follow him.
Mm-hmm. You find a secluded area. No ears, no sights.
So I haven't told the others. I probably should have. But I think whoever was attacking us yesterday was kind of going after you. Or like after something in your possession. Because when all of you were like sleeping and it had grappled you guys, it didn't seem really concerned with getting you out of your room. It seemed really concerned with getting to your bag. And then when we were fighting it, like the enemy kept looking at you and like running at you. And that was... I think it was after you. Do you know why something like that would like be interested in you?
I mean, I didn't recognize the thing. I don't think it has a particular vendetta against me, but maybe it was something we picked up. I mean, we've got quite a few different things, and she kind of just like holds up Barbie and just like looks at it and goes, I mean, who knows? Maybe it took a liking to me and just kind of like does a half turn, shrugs.
But didn't Orin and Axon say that thing just like tells you stuff about the places you are in? That doesn't seem too interesting for gigantic mythical krakens and hags and vampires.
I mean, it could be it smelled the energy on me. I mean, I'm fairly fey, I guess. So it probably would have targeted the dragon, but not sure.
It's definitely weird.
Helen would just kind of nod. Strange indeed. I mean, the Admiral said that this hag is allying with the Tritons or such thing, so I mean, as far as I know, no one in my family is pissed off anyone like that, so don't think it's against me personally.
Okay. Well, if you say so. I mean, I might have just been imagining things, honestly. Like, sure, it looked like it was going for your bag. Maybe it was going for everyone's bags. I was only in your room. Maybe it wanted everyone's stuff.
And I'm not surprised. She'd kind of just start digging through her bag and be like, just looking at all the stuff we've picked up.
Yeah, we've picked up a lot of stuff. We should maybe drop some of that. Like, we're currently on a boat, we can currently drop it into the ocean.
Maybe you could sell some of it.
True. But we don't know if some of it isn't cursed. We should probably not be selling cursed stuff.
She kind of nod. That's true. Huh. Strange few days.
Yeah.
Spiral.
I'm really looking forward to this guy.
I'm so curious.
Sorry, what did you say?
The spiral, maybe it's just because I was so close to it, but I'm so curious about what that is or what it. I hope they keep us updated on it.
Yeah.
It's so odd. Interesting.
I mean,
odd.
Maybe we wanted to one of those void people. The healer lady said that they're looking into it. Maybe they know more. It would be interesting to have a conversation with one of them.
Helen just kind of nod and go, well, soon at least we'll figure out what the letter's about. And kind of as she's putting it back in her bag, just kind of would flip it over in her hands and have another read through. See if there's anything we missed or anything that seems to make like more sense now than it would have before.
Mm-hmm. You begin to read through it. It's the same message as it was before. Any context clues that you would have gained would have just been of your own insight. So I'll leave that up to you in your interpretation of the letter. But with all of this considered, go on.
No, I was just going to say, Cal is going to wander off and go find Mycelium to reinstate that offer for draconic lessons. If she wants to use the rest of the time on board for going over the basics, maybe.
Yes, sir. Oh,
nice.
Yeah, she probably would. Yeah.
But, Orin was going to get Cal to try and loot the coral shell of the non-humanoid coral creatures that are still probably lying around below
You
deck.
were going to make me try to do... Fine. Cal can multitask.
I mean, you are definitely better at... I don't want to say skinning, because that's not skin.
I don't want to skin them. Don't make me skin them.
I mean, if Cal doesn't want to, Orin will try to do it himself.
No, you just want the coral pieces picked off? What specifically do you want?
Just to look at the creature and think up whether some of that can be used for armor, something, or like parts of an alloy. Something.
Okay, then Cal would specifically be looking at the warden guys, or the tankier, bigger guys.
Yeah.
And like just poking at it, taking parts of the corals off, and carefully like using a knife, just carefully taking parts of it off.
Sure. Just roll a d6.
A d6. I can do that.
I still do help Cal.
Ooh.
So do I also
Thanks.
roll a d6 or?
No need. You rolled a 6. So, as you begin to skin, basically, what's left of these creatures is a grey pile of mush. But there is still semblances of skeleton, and you can see that this actual bits of barnacle are almost growing out of the skeleton itself. You can see like arm bones which have almost like rooted and created this bloom of coral that just rises out from the arms, the neck, the head, the back of the skull, all across areas of bone, and it's trying to find those and trying to grab the larger chunks that you can. Going through them, you're able to harvest clusters of coral that derive from these creatures. Let's say you collect six resources worth of this coral. So, Oren, you can use these to whatever imagination you begin to concoct.
Okay, so 6 resources. So you mean 6 gold pieces?
No, 6 uses of this. So, however you wish. So, if we're using a monetary value as we have been, we'll say that these are 10 gold per cluster. But the cluster themselves isn't really easy to find. It's a different type of cluster. It's just the value of them is almost insignificant. But when it comes to creating an item, that just is accounted for.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to do on the ship? Maycelia, you begin to learn a bit more Draconic. I will ask you to roll just a straight intelligence check to see how well you can do with picking up some of the keywords. Okay. Cal, what words do you teach Maycelia?
He's probably going to start with like the basics. So he's probably going to go over some introductionary stuff, like how do you say, how would you say your name, your Maycelia? How would you say that in Draconic? And then probably like basic introductory sentences like I am and how are you, stuff like that. So the simple stuff.
Okay. Maycelia, you pick up the basics of how to say your name. You don't learn the Draconic alphabet or anything like that. It's just simple words to use in introducing yourself. As well as if someone else were to talk, you would understand them as well.
I do want to say Cal's probably not the greatest teacher because he learned this language essentially in an instant. He didn't actually have someone teach it to him. He just got the knowledge. So he's like, well, you do it like this. And then he's essentially like making her repeat
You're doing
it
fine,
like,
sweetie.
just remember this. Just remember this. And then you got it.
It's a lot of backtracking.
Duolingo.
Yeah. Essentially.
It's a lot of, I say it this way, but other people say it that way as well.
Yes.
So it gets a bit confusing sometimes.
And I've heard one dragon say it like that.
You teach, instead of saying, hello, how are you? You teach Maycelia, yo, what's up? Like that sort of stuff.
Yes, definitely.
That's not what Duo teaches you.
But the more colloquial for Cal.
It is actually just Duo. It's like a red Duo.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, cool. Accent, is there anything that you do on the ship with a couple of hours?
Actually, yes, I would like to perform, the parting of the soul ritual, but just like for those who've fallen the last night, or like this night.
Okay.
And that they would be not hunting this ship. And
sure.
I think it would take like roughly 1 hour or something. And then
Yeah.
I would like to finish the potions which I was crafting.
Excellent. For the ritual itself, you begin to reach out into the greater ethereal plane to ward and to remove the heavy weight that these souls must be having aboard this ship. To have lost your life out of nowhere, out of no fault of your own, is a sadness because their lives were taken too soon. But as you focus and find that resonance, you sense that the ship is hollow. Everyone who has perished aboard this boat, soul or corpse, is no longer here. They have been taken elsewhere.
That's so fucked up.
That's an interesting remark, and I will, I would say, remember this.
Mm-hmm. In terms of the potions, what potions are you trying to make?
Healing potions, just regular, I think, ones.
Okay.
I have in my inventory 3 almost finished healing potions. I think you wanted me to remember that.
Yes. For this, I'll ask you to roll. Do you have alchemist supplies proficiency in that? I always forget.
Let me double check. I should. No, I have herbalism.
Okay.
Helen does and can help if you ask.
I think I started it alone, so I think I would finish it alone. Then,
Sure.
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
Then
next
I'll
time.
ask you to roll a herbalism check using your dexterity.
Dexterity. Dexterity, and I will use that item which I have before that. How it was called? And that Goblet of Luck. Yeah, and guide myself
Okay.
if it's possible. Or
Excellent. Yeah, it works.
just let me double check how much it will give. Oh yeah, 1d6. That's natural one.
Well, the
Oh,
goblet of
that's-
luck, you choke on it. It just doesn't go
Yeah.
down. You drink it, you begin to cough it up. So
Let's
it
just
does.
say I'm just too disturbed about like what happened last night, and that souls are gone, and it's
Sure.
kind of freaked me out. And not freaked me out, but like a bit
Disturbs you.
Yeah, disturbed and get me out of the balance.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I couldn't even
You
focus.
just can't focus. Yeah, you can't focus. You just can't even begin to think of some other task as your mind is too distracted. Even the goblet of luck having no real ease over you. You're almost like you're so stressed. You're drinking the cup, and it's like shaking in your hand as you drink it. But
Well, I would not say that it was shaking. I just would not be able to focus and constantly keep returning to that occurrence. Like to be able to lose their souls. Like who could have done it and why? Like what the crooked creature would it be?
Yes.
It's more like this in that way, I would say.
Cool. Okay. Helen, is there anything you want to do for the couple of hours that you have?
Should be doing a little bit more testing on the rocks. Like, should play around with it a little bit, but mostly just working on kind of refining the recipe for the like anti-sweat stuff. Kind of just like going through formulas and seeing, like, breaking down the elements, and then she's trying to figure out how to rework it into something that could be like put on weapons, or like she's got the defensive version of it, she wants the offensive version of it now.
Okay. I'll ask you to roll an alchemy check using your intelligence.
Alrighty, let's see. I'm just gonna roll investigation because it's the same like efficiency with. The rolls today have been miserable.
Yeah, Brooke, you haven't had the best day with rolls.
No.
Your mind is just constantly going back to the book. That is the only thing that can explain this.
Yeah.
The talk last night, the fight that happened, your mind beginning to play tricks on you, and just that kind of that weariness. I almost want to say that you find yourself almost drawn to the book, and at one point in the kind of quiet that you have, you look at the book and you notice that the lock itself is slightly loose.
Should just kind of look at it kind of intently, and then kind of not shake off the feeling, even just kind of go back to what she was doing.
As you look at the lock momentarily on the sides of the book, you can see that the lock itself has reverted back to its original state, no longer in a higher DC.
Cool. All right.
All right. With that, You begin to hear the crew move around, seemingly ready to prepare and almost growing closer, the buildup of reaching a city. Heading up to the deck, you look out and you can see the land begin to grow larger as you approach closer into the coastline. To your left, you can see two large masses, two islands which are separated down the center. The islands themselves towards the coastline are completely filled, peppered with tall towers, turrets. You can see almost like the islands themselves are fully equipped barracks, and the center line between the two islands is completely boarded and barriered off by mechanical and physical means. And you can just see the sails of large Eberithian ships that look to be quite impressive, quite large, similar size to the Poison Ivy. This set of islands seems to be the kind of hub for the Ebith Dynasty's almost armada, their fleet that is well renowned. However, you aren't heading into that direction. You are heading into the main continent itself. You go around the bay and you can see as it opens up, you find this large space that is filled with ships docked up on anchor, holding themselves steady, ships moving back and forth, smaller dinghies trying to paddle their way from one boat to the next. You hear the ringing sounds of bells tolling back and forth as you see the large spread that is the main city of Bellevere itself, representing almost a favela in how clustered it is, with small streets as well as buildings on top of buildings on top of buildings. They are located on a large mountainside where all you can see is the painted colors of building, not even stone, not even grass. It is just the buildings themselves stacked on top of each other, lining up the entire mountainside, looking out towards the coast. Just above where the mountains begin to almost form and the buildings stop, you can see there is a natural formation, almost like a curled barrier, like a wall of sorts, that keeps the entire city enclosed into this bay itself. There is a main path that you can see that is open, almost like the mountain is split down the middle, where there is a path where caravans begin to go in and out, as well as the larger wasteland that continues further through. But for you guys here, this cityscape is huge, massive. To the left and the right, it is the only thing that you can see in front of you, within 180 degrees. Off to the side, just opposite the bay, you can see that there is smaller kind of almost outhouses, like small little trade shops here and there located on the outskirts of the city. But as you grow closer, you're heading into the main port itself, which rests just underneath all of these buildings. Here, as you grow closer, you can see that there are many pontoons, jetties, bits of wood as well as stone that protrude out and form large rings, as well as just main landing points for the ships to attach themselves and disembark. Here, just on a glance, you can see perhaps 100 naval ships, as well as 50 or so commercial ships. This harbor is huge, bigger than any that you've seen before. And it is just, you're not within earshot, but you can already hear the noise that is coming from them. The place is alive as you grow closer. And as you do, you hear the captain, Admiral Whimsy, just say, "Well, we've arrived at Bellevere. We will be docking shortly. Please prepare your belongings, and we will be disembarking within the next 30 minutes.
Helen would go and kind of pack up all her stuff and then go try and like almost lean over the front of the ship. What kind of let go a little bit? What's the feeling like as we're approaching the city? Like,
roll a Arcana check. I'll let you roll an Arcana or your spellcasting ability.
They're the same, so I'm pretty sure they're the same. Let me check. Yeah, they were the same. Okay.
13. You just receive this waft of a spectrum of sentiment that is just a hive. It is an odd sensation because you've been in cities before where you have felt a widespread of different emotions being brought out into the air. But here you can sense every single one. No matter what alley, what street, what house your eye is pointed towards, you can feel all of these sentiments quite rich and held very strongly in these very traditional streets and the city itself. There is not one that overpowers the other, but one thing that can be felt is an honor, a sentiment of profound trust that is seemingly everywhere in this city. And for just you guys as players to understand the theme of these lands, they are a mix of kind of like a Viking mixed with some kind of Arabian Nights and a bit of Greek mythos sort of vibe, all mixed together with this very Brazilian favela. Everyone's very close-knit, held in one space. And the monstrous races here are very abundant. There are mostly goblins, hobgoblins, bugbears, and half-orcs as well. Humans, almost hardly ever seen. Half-elves, gnomes, forget it, almost never. But yeah, this is pretty much home to monstrous races. So for those of you who are not of a monstrous race, you will find the occasional eye pointed in your direction, mainly because these are very traditional people and they understand that you are foreigners in their land. But you grab your things, you begin to pack up. The ship is docked up in the main port itself, and the gangway is brought out for everyone to descend. One by one, you begin to head down. Cognar and Tuco begin to follow in your footsteps. But yeah, I leave it to you guys.
Well, we find that inn.
This is fun. Ooh, look at everything.
Is that your
Yes.
first task? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I think it would kill two birds with one stone, right? We will find our guy, which like promised us work and also a place to stay. I hope it won't be so,
Yeah.
like, shady that we would not want to stay there.
Okay. So you begin to head on your task. You leave the poison ivy behind. As you begin to head off, you see Admiral Whimsy just approach. Where will you be staying so I can confer with what we found last night?
Probably the Broken Spoke Inn.
Probably.
If
But
that changes, we'll send word to the ship.
Well, if
Probably.
you wish to return to the ship after your dealings, I can have a meeting here ready.
how long will you stay?
We don't
in
really
Lost?
know how long.
He kind of takes a moment. Tuco will speak up. Well, if you want, I can communicate with the Admiral. I have spells to do so. I can tell him where we will be.
So neat.
Helen would just kind of nod. I think that might be wise.
He nods. Very well, I will confer with the guards and speak to perhaps the Sovereign. to discuss this. We will confer later on your whereabouts. Good luck traveling the city. And he begins to head off.
I think we'll let you know where we would stay at the end. So you could find us there.
Mm-hmm. He nods and heads off with the rest of his crew as they delve into the city proper. You guys spend some time looking around to find the Broken Spoke Inn. You've been informed that it is in the port, but the port is massive. As you do trail along, you can find different markets selling different wares. You see people from very far and wide, different continents coming here to trade, as well as you see a lot of mercenaries as well. People outfitted with weaponry moving back and forth. All kind of weapons here don't seem to be an issue. Everyone wears some sort of weapon by their side, as well as some sort of large trophy of sorts from some sort of kill. You're seeing large half-orcs walking around with a large pelt of some sort of hide of a creature large and huge, and walking with pride as he has it on him. As well, you're watching as others, even gnomes, goblins, holding almost like teeth of different creatures, wearing them around their wrists, and jewelry, again, kills or things that they've purchased from these creatures, adorned on their person. You continue to look around and find what you can. I will ask each one of you to roll a perception or investigation check.
Maybe before I roll, Cal is mostly keeping an eye out for the other group. So he's looking for people that match the other 5 descriptions that they were given.
Okay.
And also I can't roll. Forge kicked me out, so you'll have to roll for me, Max.
I'll roll for you, don't worry. Which one would you like to use? The highest? Okay.
Yes, for some reason.
Perception. Although your investigation is higher.
Wait, my investigation is higher.
Okay.
Oh, you're right, I don't have proficiency in perception.
All right. So, looking around, you easily find the Broken Spoke Inn. It's not in plain sight, as it is placed between a few buildings. Seems to be like a trade post, as well as some sort of official building for paperwork to be passed by. You see people leaving their boats, heading with a load of documents, as well as some wares that they carry on them, and heading into this establishment to either confirm what they brought or to do some administration. But in between these two buildings, you find one which is in the style of a very squat-looking building, but quite long and deep. It itself, at the door, is one large wheel, depicted as the kind of main face of this establishment. There are windows between the different edges of where the spokes would go in this wheel, and you can kind of see through roughly. The door at the bottom is open wide. It doesn't seem to actually have a door on it. It's just open to the elements. And you can see people walking in and out from it. A lot of people seem to be walking out heavily intoxicated. You just see 2 gnomish figures just kind of walking out. Oh my God, that was the best day I've ever had. As they just kind of continue to wander out in this drunken stupor. The other one seemingly stealing from his pocket as he's kind of holding up. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Begins to steal his coin. But as you begin to approach, you can see there's no bouncers, there's no guards at the door, and the smell of stale ale is just completely prominent in this place. It doesn't feel like it's been cleaned at all, especially as you step through the main door. Who is leading this kind of charge? Okay.
I guess Helen will do it then. She just kind of...
Sure, ladies first.
Step in and kind of... I mean, there's no door, just kind of step in, I guess, and kind of peek her head around the corner.
You peek your head in, and you just hear the sounds of tankards hitting against each other. You hear people just shouting across the bar, "How's it going, mate?" And you just hear this kind of conversation from two ends of this room. The bar is filled with people, and it's only around 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You are just watching as there are people of all sizes, shapes, all mainly monstrous races, just kind of taking large gulps of beer, different drinks. You can see there is a dartboard as well on the side of, as like a game that they seem to be passing by. One person is currently holding a dagger, this kind of large Goliath figure, currently blindfolded. And you can see on the dartboard there is a small rodent of sorts in the center of it. And you see he's kind of like holding up the dagger, flicking it in his hands. All right, I think I can get it. And you see him begin to kind of wind up. Leonie?
I don't like that. But Cal's not gonna do anything.
Okay.
I just don't like it.
He throws his dagger blindly. It just lands into someone's foot. And they just begin to recoil in pain as the dagger just locks their foot into the ground. And he goes, "Oh, fuck. Sorry, mate. I didn't mean to do that. I guess you're free, little fella." Pulls out the hamster and throws him to the ground for him to just scurry off. But you can see there's just a menagerie of people, and it's just sound and noise, and it's just a bit much at some points. But you see there's a large bar on the right-hand side with several different kind of workers there, kind of cleaning out drinks. You see one, a quite plump-looking bugbear male, just kind of looking over. "Hey, can I help you with something?" Gestures over in your direction.
Yes. We received a rather mysterious letter saying that we should meet someone here. And would
And also hand it in. Here.
Alright. Sure, I can't read.
Well, it says down there, hand in this letter for food and lodging. So if you can read, that really defies that purpose.
Oh, sorry, I haven't got my glasses.
No, that's
Okay.
fair.
You're one of them lot. Gotcha. Sure, we've got some lodging. It's all been paid for. You've got food, drink, all on the house. Let me just get that for you 1 second. And he begins to kind of reach down. Heads down the counter, begins to kind of scroll through. All right. We have a Calamaeus.
Yes, that's me.
Here you go. That's yours. You just see
Thank
this
you.
sack of like rations and food inside of this just
Okay.
tightly wound satchel, as well as a key to a room. There you
Oh.
go. Owen.
Over here.
There you go. That's yours. Let's see. Action.
You can put it there.
There you go. Let's see.
I
Yes,
carefully
scratch his
look
head.
inside if the food is still, like, eatable.
It's all like dried rations for the road. It seems to be edible. It's not
Okay.
like freshly cooked foods, but it's all stuff that's been cured, prepared for like long journeys. So the food itself in the bags probably could last another 2 months or so. He kind of looks down. How many of you?
5.
5. That's it. That's all I've got.
Is there nothing for Helen or Miss Ely?
Let me check one more time. 1 sec.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's quite obvious. You cannot miss the huge bag.
Yeah, here they are. Puts them up.
Oh.
Sorry, I haven't got my glasses.
Or you can.
No, that's fair. So who paid for it?
Well, am I supposed to tell you? I forget how this works, really. Let's just say a very kind investor has given us resources. He's paid for your accommodation, and he will be looking to speak to you. Was it like midnight or something, or dusk, or dawn, or dusk? Okay. Yeah, well, look, there's always these two people, boy and a girl. They stand out like a sore thumb, two humans. Yeah. They come here at the night. They kind of work for that guy, and he took the others before. So I'd say wait until they turn up.
Just a quick question: did those 5 ever return, or did he take them and then they were gone?
No, they've come in since.
Oh, thank God! Hey, that's a good sign, guys. That's a good sign.
Helmut on goes. It does ease the mind a little bit.
No, I would be pleased to hear those benefactors' names, if you would be so kind to share them.
Yeah, sure. I don't give a fuck about their names. Coraline and Richter.
Right.
They're acquaintances of the big investor.
Oh, so it would not be the big investor who will come to speak to us.
Do you think he'll be caught dead in a place like this?
They come and get us and get us to him.
Yeah, that's what they did with the other people.
Okay.
Are they here currently? The other people?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
They might be in their rooms. They might be out. Don't know. They have the same as you: lodging, food.
Could you tell us the room numbers?
I don't know if I'm going to do that. Bit of privacy and all that, you know.
I mean, we're just going to knock on the door. We're not going to barge in and demand anything. We're just going to knock politely.
Roll a persuasion check.
I can't.
Oh, fuck.
How long are we allowed to stay here? Like, for how long did they pay for our rooms?
Oh, well, it's an investment. It's indefinite.
Ooh.
That's kind.
Yeah, well, the big man has a lot of money.
That's another good sign.
Yeah, well, look, you seem like all right people. So, yeah, they're in the rooms opposite yours. It's not really that hard to see. We don't have that many rooms, about 12. So they're just in the opposite ones of yours, really.
Perfect. Thank you. That's very helpful.
Oh, that's all right.
Do we want to go say hi?
Well,
I mean, you can
I
go
am
ahead.
curious to meet them.
I am too. And they've already met the guy. Maybe they can tell us something before we meet him and then we're prepared. Or something.
True.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, they don't want visitors?
Yeah. And attack us.
That we can deal with.
Very true. They can't be worse than ocean zombies. Hopefully. Can they be worse than ocean? They could be worse than ocean zombies.
I don't know if that's really possible.
Well,
You don't think they
let's
could
meet
be
them.
worse than ocean?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Let's meet them first
what?
before we compare them to ocean zombies.
Yeah. Yeah, when you say it like that sounds bad.
Okay.
That's cool.
You head to your rooms momentarily and find the space opposite. The rooms are located just at the very end of this bar. There's no second floor. It's just all on one level. You have to push past all of the proprietors of this establishment. And you see a couple of them kind of look over in your direction, Marie, Mayseely. You see a couple of them just kind of stare off to you. Some eyes kind of begin to squint slightly. You see a couple of them kind of talk to each other. But you notice that as you walk through.
Mm-hmm.
You push past all of them, find the cordoned off area, use your key to get through the first layer, and find yourself in the in the main kind of lobby of where all of the rooms are located. You can see the 12 rooms here. You have keys associated for your rooms, and you can also see the other 7 just across the way. So do you begin knocking?
Let's put our stuff away first, and then we begin knocking.
The rooms themselves are quite nice. There's nothing really to showboat here. Fresh furnishings. Everything seems to be quite well catered for. It's not very suiting for an establishment like this. From what you saw before, in here, you can see there's linen quilts that have been left out, large fluffy pillows, quite a few of them. And although the room is quite small, the amenities here are quite lavish. And perfectly left.
Mm-hmm.
Helen would just fully flop down onto the bed into the nice sheets and just kind of
The bed is soft as anything. As you fall onto it, you sink in slightly, and it's just this kind of very cloudy bounce to it.
She just kind of not even having to close the door, just lying there and goes, Cal, you really need to try one of these. They're lovely. And just kind of stretch and not very dramatically. This is nice after being at sea.
Yeah, Cal in the room next is just flop. I agree.
Stretched
This is
out.
perfect. I'm not moving for the next hour. New plan! We're staying in. No, okay. He gets up. Okay.
Yeah, I don't believe that you, Cal, out of all people, will miss the lovely conversation which we will have with those people.
Yeah, I'm afraid so too. I like talking to people.
I mean, curiosity killed the cat, so, you know.
Okay, come on. Don't compare me to cats. If anything, I'm a bird. And he gestures at the literal feathers in his face.
I mean, true.
Cats are mean.
Killed the bird, then.
I don't want to die. Okay, no, I should have stuck with the cats. Okay, who wants to knock?
Well, I can try at least. I don't know. I hope they won't shoot us.
I'm sure you'll succeed at knocking.
I'm not at knocking, yes, but not getting their attention. I would not quite be so sure. And yeah, just go and knock and then wait and then.
Okay.
See what happens.
You knock one of the doors, no answer. You knock at another door, again, no answer. You knock at the third door, and on the third door, you just hear, "Oh, please, just leave me alone. I don't want to go out today. You know how much of a fucking headache I've got."
I'm sorry, good sir, but could you please give us a not to give us a moment, but I mean, could you open the door?
Hold on. Is this room service?
Not quite, but
Richter?
almost, but no.
Why are you being so mysterious?
You just hear...
We're the other group. We're the other people in the letter.
You just hear a silence for a moment, and then the door opens slightly, only by a smidge, and you can see down below a gnomish figure, one with this kind of scraggly-looking beard, slightly bulbous nose, probably about in his 30s or so, mainly like a dirty blonde sort of color to it, tanned face, but his cheeks are bright red. His eyes are slightly wonky, and you can see his stance is a bit kind of wibbly wobbly as he kind of opens it. Well, what do you mean you're the other ones on the letter?
Oh, we're terribly sorry. Have you realized that he was sick? We wouldn't have insisted. We just
I'm
wanted to
not.
say
I'm not
hi,
sick.
really.
I'm not sick.
Li-
Don't spread that
You
rumor.
sure?
I'm hungover. There's a difference. There's a difference.
You look. All right, sure. Well, if you're only hungover, will you have a moment to talk to us?
No. It closes the door.
That's
Just
fair.
Just a second. We could provide you
Oh,
quite a
Come
good
on, we can go talk to
medicine
someone else. Don't be
for your
mean.
issue at your hand.
True.
So it would be a win-win.
he opens the door again. What is it you want?
I
Look,
just want.
I'm not going to show you where the guy lives. You got to go through the whole thing like we did, okay? I don't want to fuck up my chances at anything, so let's just keep it at that.
Yeah, don't you worry. We just wanted for you to give us like 15 minutes at most, and in return you will be provided.
15 fucking minutes.
In return, you will be provided with a remedy of sorts to your condition. So,
You
I
think
hope
I
it
don't
would-
want this? I'm loving this, okay?
Oh, then
I don't need to be fixed. If I wanted to be fixed, I'd ask Mudu, but he's out and about at the moment.
well, then
Is any of the others currently in?
No, I think they all just went out and did some shopping.
Oh,
I
okay, okay.
fucking hate shopping, so that's why I'm here.
Huh.
could you spare us a few minutes of your time and show us?
Oh, you sound like a Bible
What else?
basher. Sure, whatever.
It does. What is a Bible?
Yeah, I never heard about that book, but you know, I kind of fond of reading books, but it's beside
Oh,
the point.
even worse, he's a nerd. Oh, fuck.
Where's the nerd?
So,
What?
would you like us to go to the bar area, or maybe?
Yes,
come-
yes. I'm gonna need a drink if we're gonna talk. Okay.
Oh, then let us buy you a drink if you.
No. It's on me.
I'm pretty sure it's in the house.
Everything's
I think
on the
The guy
house.
paid for
Oh,
us,
yeah.
so
Yeah, the big guy paid for everything. That's right.
yeah. By the way,
yeah,
why?
then-
Look, even we don't fucking know what's really going on. We have our
You
theories.
don't know yet. He hasn't told you.
It's been waiting for you guys to turn up. You've been like
Oh.
fucking weeks. Which, to be honest, I don't mind because we're here for like forever. We get whatever we want whenever we want. So let's just say I've been enjoying myself quite nicely. So if you guys
It
could
didn't
just
take that
not
long.
actually be here, that would be superb.
Well, we're not just gonna leave again. We took
How
we took
about-
quite a while to get here. We're not just gonna go back. That
How
would be
about we
exhausting.
first get us
Please.
a drinks, and then we can
No.
continue this lovely conversation.
Oh, if we have to.
Yes, unfortunately we have to. And thank you for your time.
Oh
in
fuck
advance.
yeah! Let's get drunk.
All right, now we're talking more my language. All right, you head towards the bar. You grab a table, get a few drinks out. He sits down. All right, so go on, ask away.
So, could you explain the whole process on why this guy needed us, or did he tell?
He already
you
said he
about
doesn't
something?
know.
Well, you read the letter, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and
Quite a lot.
did it also like told you about the reward, and it was something personal or connected to you?
Yeah.
Okay, and it was
We
not
we
mentioned-
all have something that we want. Is kind of what we think's going on. Everyone has a desire. Some people are a little bit more ambitious than others. I'm just going to say it. But supposedly this guy can sort it all out for us. And you know what? I'm just here for the fun of it.
Did you see actually the guy himself or herself?
No. I haven't
No?
seen it yet.
Okay.
Well, the guy, I kind of know his name. Because there's like his estate is called after him, so it just makes sense. Hussar. It just really makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Hussar
Does it-
estate.
Uh-huh.
Do I know who that is?
You can roll a history check if you want.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
I'm actually gonna try and get back in Forge.
Sure. you
Because,
can
like,
roll.
Kazar, we have a name. Hello.
Is he a prominent figure in this city, or?
To be honest, I've not really done much delving. I've not really cared enough. Enjoying myself a little too much, partaking in the drinks. This lovely establishment, as you can see, filled with fucking idiots, which I quite enjoy.
If
But-
you don't mind me asking, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know who this guy really is.
And if you don't mind me asking, what are you doing for a living? If it's not a secret.
Well, wouldn't you like to know? Hey, what do you do for a living? You've asked me all these questions. What do you actually do? Hey,
Oh,
I've seen your
Wait, no, that's a
profile in
good
the list.
question. Ask them, what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do? Even your friends don't even know. What do you do?
you know, I'm more like a traveling magician. I do a performance now and then and show
Bullshit.
some
Do
tricks.
it.
You
Do it now.
do?
Yes, of course I do, and I
Damn
just
it! And Helen would just kind of sit down and like cross her legs and lean back, like waiting for like whatever this performance is about to be.
Come
I
on,
just-
do a performance. Come on,
yeah,
come on.
just give me a second. I need to prepare. You know, right? It's not so easy. You know, to just put a performance out of the thin air. I just reached back for.
I've mostly seen him do some spiritual shit.
Oh, we
I
have one
know
of them
it.
as well.
I just reached for the pile of cards and like put them on the table, just shuffle them and like pointed at the guy. You know, take one.
It's not gonna blow my hand off, is it?
Of course not. Come on, it's nothing dangerous. I assure you. It's just a fancy
And-
trick I learned
like,
recently.
Even if Orin could heal you.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pulls out a
then
card.
look what the card is it, and remember it.
Okay.
Yeah, now put it back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will just, put my hand over the deck of cards and it will just start to slowly and like raise with the hand, and I will raise the hand a bit above and it will be magically starting to float and shuffle it again. And then it will just one fly out and like write it to him. So, is it the same card?
No.
It should be. You're just joking, right?
How do you know it's the same card?
That's a magic trick, right?
Hmm.
I wouldn't be a magician if I would be like going on and sharing.
Is this guy always like
details.
this?
Helen just kind of
This is kind of a new side to him.
Like, it was.
Not seen him play with cards.
That was my card. That was my card. I'll be honest. It was my card. But look, I don't think it's that impressive because you use magic, and magic is cheating. So.
Well, it is not cheating. What do you mean?
Oh, you can't like heal wounds out of nothing. Cheating. I got to put a band-aid on to make sure that my arm doesn't fall off. But you can cast a spell and it's all fixed together. Cheating.
Well, I mean, I do care about your opinion, and it's quite valuable to hear the other side. But I mean, is it cheating? The gods created us, so and they created the leaf,
Oh, get me drunk. I need another drink.
Here you
So
go.
you actually, yeah, you didn't answer my question. What are you doing for a living?
Oh, I'm a sellsword. Is it that hard to see?
No, it's quite obvious, but I mean, did you see your fair share of fighting, or
Quite
is it-
obvious. But is this what this guy sounds like all the time?
Yes,
Yeah.
you get used to it.
You're just like the other guy in our group, for fuck's sake. Where do they get these people from? Like, how long have you guys known each other?
I think it's been like a week.
I've
Your
been with
sense
these.
is very good.
I've been with these guys for 3 weeks, and they're the pain in my ass. Can't get rid of them because I gotta wait until this shit's done.
Oh, yeah, then your wait is finally over as we are here, and then it will finally move from this point.
Oh, hopefully.
So, you know, be careful about your desires, they might come true.
Has Hazar mentioned how he found out about us? Like why he picked us?
Again, I've not spoken to the guy. I've only
I thought you hadn't seen him.
I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him. The two little dipshits, Coraline and Richter, they've been the puppet with his hand up their ass. That's pretty much it. We've heard the puppet. We've not heard the spokesperson himself.
Right. So we have to wait till tonight. Okay, that's fair though.
Well, we've been waiting for you.
Oh, wait.
So again, if you want to wait a couple of weeks, I don't care.
No, we just technically have to wait till dusk, right? Unless they don't check daily. Do they check daily?
They're here like every evening.
See? And we just have to wait till tonight.
Okay. What's your skin in all this then? What is it you're all looking for? We're all here for something. So what is that for you? I want to get fucking rich. I want money.
Oh, that's
Same?
quite like obvious. So yeah, it was not so obvious like from about you, Cal. But okay. And I'm not sharing with you. Sorry, what I desire.
This guy's such a buzzkill.
Yes.
Come on, yeah, you are getting drunk, so. Yours.
It's true. I don't care. What about the rest of you? What do you want?
I just want to improve my crafting skills. It's more about the journey.
You guys have a really strong group. Really exciting.
I think he got you boring.
Oh, he's entitled to be wrong.
Oh, he's got a mouth on him. Oh, didn't expect that. Okay, I hold back my words. Priest of Moradin. Wow, didn't think you had it in you. Helen, you wanted to say something?
I just want a bit of an adventure. Some new stories.
See, that I can agree upon, as long as it leads to something that will benefit you in the future, right? Because what are we all doing this for? You're doing it for fame, I'm doing it for money. It's all personal gain in the end of the day. So, journeyman over here, wizard boy over there. We're all here on a path. And that path is to get fucking drunk. And he just
I can agree on that.
drink.
Look. By the way, the 15 on the history check, did that get me anything?
Unfortunately, nothing comes to mind. Hussar is not a name that you're familiar with. Doesn't really provoke anything inside you. No thing in history or books. Unfortunately, not much.
Okay. Curious.
Unfortunately, I would like to let you know that not everyone are here for personal gain.
So what's your high and mighty path then, friend?
I mean, that will remain secret, or I mean, clouded in shadows. But
That sounds selfish to me. If you're not looking to share, then it's selfish.
I can assure you that it's not something like of my gain.
All right. Well. Have you guys got a group name yet or anything?
Do we need one?
Oh well. Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Do we have one?
And we should think of one.
Well, we've got ours. Whether it's going to mean anything, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. So I'm just here having a good time.
What is your group name?
Yeah.
Fucking Peeth Grana, she fucking called us Life's Echo. Fucking snore.
Life's Echo.
Yeah, she said it was something profound and something really motivational. Sounds a lot like those two guys over there. And he gestures to Ulrich and Axon.
Is it connected to something you experienced or like something you dealt with?
What the fuck? I didn't choose the name.
I see you are not the brains of your group. That's quite clearly.
No, but I'm certainly the fucking muscle. So you better be careful what you say.
That I see. That I see.
Okay. Well, look. You want to settle this hand to hand? And he begins to stand up on the table. Look, I'm ready to go.
We were warned about this. The people that we like to pick fights. We were warned about. Wait, are you even from here? You aren't, are you? You've been here too long. You've been here too long.
I've been here for a couple of weeks, but this guy's talking mad shit. So I want my fair share.
Now, I was specifically told we aren't allowed to pick fights yet, so I'm sorry, but we can't.
You see, he kind of frustratingly steps down from the table.
If you want to hit something, go hit the ball. It at least will not hit you back.
You make it really difficult, Axon.
You're making it so difficult. At this point, you hear the approaching footsteps of another group arriving. You see 4 other people stood and walking up, seemingly with bags filled with supplies, hung over their shoulders. You see 4 sets of travelers from different places, it seems, but have all been brought here, just like you guys have. You see a dark feathered Aarakocra with this very sharpened sort of beak look to them, very angular. They themselves are no bigger than about 5'4", quite short and skinny for the most part. Another one you see is taller than the rest, standing at about 7 foot. You see a female cloud giant. She herself wears a very nice, simple kind of gown that goes down shoulderless, no sleeves, and just kind of goes past. Her hair tied up into a nice bun at the back. She just kind of stands there looking down towards the person that you've been speaking to. Next to them, you see someone wearing very heavy, large plate of armor, a male bugbear. Their fur quite thick, as to the armor itself seems to be emblazoned with almost this starry pattern across it, painted in oranges and greens. They have a very kind of stalwart look to themselves, and they're quite squat for a bugbear, standing at about 5 foot, but they are quite wide in their stance. Meanwhile, the last one in this troop you see is a wood elf, a female wood elf, but you can see horns protruding slightly from the forehead. She seems to carry quite a few different knickknacks around her person, bandolier holding like strange looking trinkets, as well as 2 swords tucked into the side, as well as almost like this gauntlet on one hand. She has several scars and cuts across her face. She looks to be quite rough around the edges. But as all of them approach, you see the cloud giant step forward first. Salo, what are you doing? Why are you trying to pick fights with more people? You see...
Well, honestly, Axon's kind of picking a fight with him.
That's quite a bold accusation on your side, Cal, to be fair.
No. It's fucking dead to rights. This guy here is trying to have a tussle, and I'm trying to hold it. Look, I'm trying to hold it because last time I got kicked out, then I had to sneak in, then they allowed me back in, then I had to sneak out again because I didn't want to be here anymore.
I mean, it's quite clear that this fine gentleman is not the brains of your group. So,
Oh boy, Accent, stop digging yourself deeper into your already pretty deep thing. Please
No,
stop.
he's got a point. Though he doesn't look like the muscle either.
The bugbear steps forward. This is correct. Your analysis is spot on. Salo is drunk. Salo is sad. Salo must wallow in his own tears. Salo, please go back to your room. You watch as he looks at the bugbear. His eyes gloss over. Yeah, no problem. And he begins to walk off.
Well, that was
interesting group dynamic you have. I'll tell you that.
He is a fucking thing. And his
That's
language.
what he said about you guys.
No, we've been in this city for too long. You watch as the Aarakocra during all of this is kind of walking around and looking at each one of you with his corked head to the side. Very squinted look as he's focusing on each one of you. So, let me guess. All of you are on that list as well. Why? Why are you here?
Because
That's
we
quite
were
an
told to come.
intricate question, which we would like to have the answer ourselves.
Well, since you're all here, it's probably going to turn out that we find out all of these questions later. But it's gonna take a little bit. Those two
Well,
only
that's a
come
fine
around
point.
at dusk.
Well, that's only a few hours away, so can't be that much longer.
And
He looks over, and you see the cloud giant, cloud Goliath, kind of speak up. So, are you here to also compete?
compete
Compete?
where, in what, or is there a tournament somewhere?
So you have just arrived, is that right?
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Have you not thought of what this might be all about?
There are
No,
some
we have.
theories, yes, but we would like to have your point of view and your opinion as well, if you don't mind sharing it, of course.
No, we can share. We're all in the same boat. Let us bring over some chairs and tables. And you see the bugbear begin to pick up some of the tables, bring them over, and you have this bit of a small communion amongst you as some of them begin to take seat. The Aarakocra begins to head off. He leaves back to his room.
Good thing.
Meanwhile, the wood elf, the bugbear, and the Goliath, all three of them stay and kind of watch over. The wood elf tiefling, she stays stood up, arms crossed, but doesn't really say anything. You see her just watching the entire table. Meanwhile, the bugbear as well as the Goliath seem to be partaking in conversation. You see the Goliath, she just leans against the table. We have our theories. We don't really know what this is all about. But we had met each other on the road. And I'm assuming the same for you?
Yes.
Yeah, that is correct.
She kind of looks off to the side for a moment. I knew there was something more happening. We don't know anything. We've only spoken to Coraline and Richter, and they have been very vague, only waiting until you arrive. We've seen them sneaking back to this estate manor house, but we have not gone in. We do not know anything else. We've done our own sneaking, our own bit of surveillance, whilst we've been here, because we've not had much else to do in this city. But we are none the wiser. The only theory that I have, now that you've pretty much confirmed it, is that this is some sort of competition. Because why would someone, if they could grant anything, any problem that we had, that cannot be distributed between all of us, surely. There's something involved.
That depends on the kind of, if of course it is a person. If it's a devil and you go into some contract and make a deal, it's possible. It is possible that he or she might grant you your wish, though at what cost? That's another question, of course.
Actually, I don't want to work for a devil. I don't want to make a deal with the devil either.
The bugbear will speak up. We have been trying, looking, talking, trying to find someone, speak to people around the city to see if they have any idea of who this Hassar is, but no one. Everyone has said that they have not seen anyone leave that estate except for the two humans. We do not know who is inside. We do not know who this Hassar is, and it is frustrating. I have prayed upon my deity, and they have not given me guidance. Something surrounds this person that obscures my vision.
If you don't mind me asking, what deity are you following?
I praise Celestia, goddess of the stars.
No, it's great.
I see that you have someone of faith in your group too.
I nod.
Faith
I serve
is
Moradin,
important.
god of creation.
He nods. A strong god. Tradition, creation, powerful things. You must listen to this person more. What is your name?
I'm Oren Maragosh.
I am Modoruk Aetherbound, but you can call me Mood. It is a pleasure to meet you. And this, I imagine, is your leader.
I wouldn't say so necessarily. We already have a leader. We haven't talked about it.
And I hope we have democracy, so, it's not that we need a leader.
I try to discourage the worst of ideas, but in the end, we make our own decisions.
He nods. A fair assessment of how things should be done. We do not have the same. We have a leader in our group, and we also have a name for our group. He gestures over
We
to
heard.
the
Nice
Goliath.
echo. Very dramatic. I like it.
Yes, I chose the name because it suited our necessity. We all derive from a different place, long and far from here. And we hope to leave a lasting impact. We all need this prize, whatever it is. And we're going to work to get it. Perhaps that will be together. Perhaps that will be alone. How well do you trust each other?
Perhaps it will be against us.
She
Well, all this just made me very curious for tonight. Very.
Helen, if you want to, you can roll a Arcana check. Axon, you can roll an Arcana check as well. Cal, you can roll an Insight check. And we'll say, Ulrin, you can roll a Religion
Dice are
check.
finally working for me. Could
Can
we
I
get a
also
spell?
roll insight, or
What
should
is
I
happening?
still Arcana?
Say that again, Brooke?
What are we rolling?
Could we get a spelling on that name?
Yeah, I'll send him through.
Alright, thank you.
Can I also roll insight, or should I still roll Arcana?
This is for something separate. But you can roll your spellcasting ability instead if you want, because you have a
Yeah,
different...
then I would prefer this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just
Okay. We'll go through these one by one. So, we have... By the way, is Maycelia here? Marie? Don't know.
I think she might have stepped out.
Yeah, she's gone. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. So, we will start with Axon. Axon, you can see, upon kind of looking over the group and just asserting certain levels of energy that you can see, like the arcane power that flows through them, you can see that all three of these entities have some sort of energy that surrounds them. The bugbear seems to be somewhat of a divine lineage. However, you sense that there is something primordial in there as well, something that is rich in the land, with a very otherworldly presence behind it. Something that is, although they look like they are a bastion, a beacon of some sort of stalwart hope, there is a darkness that also lies inside that you can sense. With the wood elf, who is stood up and not really talking during all of this, you can sense that they have a very strong blood energy to them. Straight away, you can sense that they have an affinity with blood magic, something more primal and something that you're a little bit more familiar with from where you come from. Doesn't seem to be a caster itself, but more so in the hemocraft area, manipulating the blood and sorts. In terms of the Goliath, you sense that there is a elemental energy that flows through them. Their cloud-based nature seems to just be present on a constant, but they also have this magic around their hands. And on occasion, you can hear them crack their knuckles, and you can see that they have a fighter's build to them, although they are quite slender. So from all of this, you kind of get that you have some sort of cleric, you have a blood hunter of some kind, and a monk of some kind. For Ulrin, you haven't seen much of Celestia as a deity. She is not a part of the main lineage of gods. She is something that lives on the exterior of that, but she has also bartered back and forth with Moradin specifically. There was a time long ago when the world needed protection when the gods could not provide it, and she offered her 2 children as payment, as a way to show support for this effort. 2 comets that flew over the skies. But they came from space, from far away, and believed to be almost otherworldly in aspect, but controlled 2 very important parts of the world, the material and the spiritual. you're getting a sense that he perhaps possesses that sort of ability. You're not sure on the specifics, though. You just get this aura from him of a strong divine energy that isn't of your lineage, that you're affiliated with. Cal, looking at what they say and their intentions, you can see that the Goliath is quite sincere, it seems. They're spouting out hypotheticals most of the time, and they're talking, for the most part, in truth. There's nothing, you don't sense a lie, but one thing you do kind of get from them is a weariness. Talking to you, you can see the cloud giant, the cloud Goliath is giving you the information that you need, but they're also analyzing you. You can see that all three of them, no matter how close or how nicely you've been talking, they have been focusing on who you are, what you're wearing, what you carry on you, and the possible abilities that you may have. Because for as far as she's concerned and the rest of them, they've been theorizing for the last 2 weeks that this other group that is about to come is someone that they're going to have to try and take out. So you can see like risk management is beginning to come into effect. Sizing you up. You just get that aura.
Cal's only reaction to that is really to draw it back a bit from the conversation, lean back in his chair and just put his hand in his pocket and just lean back and chill.
Yeah.
Get out of the conversation.
Then for Helen, you can sense different airs of sentiment around them. For the wood elf, you sense no sentiment. They are completely blank. They do not possess any emotion. You see them just standing there, and you're not sure if that's because they are not expressing any in this moment. They may be very controlled in their emotions, or they might not have any at all. They haven't spoken to show a capability of even talking yet. So they're a bit of a mystery to you at the moment. Meanwhile, the bugbear, you can see, gives off a very strong figurehead that is almost in parallel to Ulrin, but as in that same point, you can sense a doubt that is going through his head all the time. Although he is pragmatic, talking, having this aura of relaxation, there is spikes that come through that are doubt, worry, be alert, don't fall too soft. You just see that kind of spiking every so often. Then for the Goliath, you sense a calmness, very controlled, not showing much emotion, very free-flowing with how they feel and how they're trying to be shown by others. She definitely has this very calm aura about them, someone who is very much in tune with their body and their mental state as well.
Helen wants to try and get eye contact with the wood elf.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, kind of not stare, but kind of peek over and see if they'll look in her direction.
Sure. You look over in their direction. They don't seem to be paying attention to you at the moment. They are just kind of looking down at the table, listening intently. You can roll a history or religion check if you want.
So if you don't mind me asking, how did you get here? I mean, by what means did you travel?
You see the Goliath speak up. We have been traveling on the road a few weeks before we arrived. Traveling the main Gold Throne road as we were told to. Came across a lot on our way. too much hassle for what it's worth, but some of it came in handy, information that we could use, so it was worth it in the long, grand scheme of things.
And did you encounter any strange things on the roads?
Many strange things.
Did anything stand out? Yeah.
There were a couple of devils that chased us down, but we were able to escape them. That was in the main open road where there was nothing more. Creatures that resembled clouds came down and tried to attack us. Soril was able to push them back. A few dangers here and there. Some towns we came into visit, some better off than others, but it was not an easy journey. For Helen, with your history check, you see their arms, one arm has that gauntlet across it, and you can see there is a rig that's been set up. The gauntlet itself is metallic by most of its surface, but you can see there is spikes as well on the underside. You get the sense that if they were to grip into their fist, blood will begin to seep into the armor and the gauntlet itself, and you sense that could be empowered by it. One thing as well that you notice is some reliefs in the skin, like maze-like tattoos across the arms, up and down, and as well up the neck. You see formation of patterns which is reminiscent to blood hunters that study in a specific institute, one known as the Institute, a place where blood hunters derive from, a place located in Calzeria in the center of it. You assume that they come from there, or at least learnt their teachings.
If they ever look in Helen's direction, she wants to try and wink at them and see if they genuinely don't have any emotions, or if they're just very good at controlling it.
Mm-hmm.
She's curious and wants to test the theory.
Looking over to try and grab their attention, you see that the focus does turn to you. She looks down as you're sat, and she gives a wink back.
Okay. Cool.
With that, as you continue to dialogue, speak to each other, you begin to hear a presence kind of grow more silent in the tavern. Less people seem to be present. It's a bit more emptied out. You've spent a few hours here talking, understanding, trying to get a grips of each other. The others return back from their rooms, and at this point you hear the footsteps of two people approach. You see two humans, one male, one female. The male figure seems to be in his early 30s or so, slightly long brownish hair, lighter skin, wearing a very nice tuxedo, very well polished, well presented. His hair is kind of going down to about shoulder length, and he kind of walks up with his arms behind his back, ready to kind of approach and discuss. His suit is in the colors of a darker gray, but the trim itself fades from a green to a deep purple color, and he just begins to step forward. The other one, the female human, she's probably in her late 20s or so, slightly shorter than the male figure, but only by a couple of inches. She's wearing a very well-presented suit as well. Very kind of power suit looking individual. Similar design, grey with that trim of green and purple flowing through it. Her hair is pulled back into a big ponytail that goes past and down her back. Slightly blondish. She herself is quite pale of skin. The two of them just kind of step forward, look towards all of you, and we're going to pick up next session there, because there's no point in getting into it now. since we're
No,
reaching the
not the
end
cliffhanger.
of today's session.
Oh, Max do loves those cliffhangers.
There we go. So, you've arrived at the tavern. You are soon to meet whoever this mysterious guy is.
Huzzah.
Huzzah.
We have a
Yes.
name. Even though it might not be a name, it might just be
Could be a
a
title.
company. Title, a company, fucking
Could be.
house, for all we know.
But we'll find out next time. So, thank you very much for watching. Follow us everywhere, Instagram,
Everywhere.
subscribe, all that stuff, all that good stuff. And we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.